Hello and welcome to Meaux. My name is Meaux and I'm a professional tarot reader, herbal tea enthusiast. And as you can see from today's title, we are doing a pick a card reading based around the full moon in Gemini that took place on December 19th around 11:33 p.m. And also the Venus retrograde. These transits are happening around the same time. So when I was looking at the astrology charts and like studying and whatnot, and then also pulling messages from the divine, a lot of the messages that came through were actually in relation to both of those things. If this is your first time joining me, hello, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. And if you're returning, hello there. Thank you for coming back, my friend. As you may be able to tell, I am a little bit sick. I did get a positive COVID test result yesterday. And for that reason, today's pick a card reading, it's not going to be as in depth as my pick a card readings usually are. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of cards out. And for the sake of just preserving my energy, you know what I mean? I have what is it? Maybe like in less than 10 cards on the table, but I am going to be divining to the best of my abilities. And I was debating whether I should come and do this or not, but I did want to offer at least something to my followers, you know, to the people that were waiting, that anticipate my pick a card readings. Yeah. But I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. So without further ado, let's head over to the pick a card selection. Hello and welcome to your pile selection. To help you choose a pile with your intuition and not just your physical eye, I recommend finding yourself in a nice relaxed position and then taking some meditative breaths, one in and one out. Continue your breathing throughout this entire process. To choose a pile, I recommend focusing on each deck of cards and then on each crystal. Whichever pile feels like a vibrational match between both the deck of cards and the crystal, that is most likely the pile that is right for you. If you feel that you resonate with more than one pile, that's because there is an additional message in that deck waiting for you. This is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. This is pile number 3. You can find the timestamps down in the comment section or in the description of the video. I'll see you there. Hello, welcome pile number 1 and welcome to your pick a card selection. If you chose pile number 1, you chose the emerald crystal. Just a little bit how this reading is going to work. I have 3 cards from the Mega Tarot. I may pull some clarifiers from this deck. I may not. We'll see how the messaging comes through. But then I also have an oracle card from the Starseed Oracle deck and also some words of affirmation, right? But essentially how this reading is going to work is that the message that came through, the overarching message, however, was that like, how are we communicating our morals, our values, and the things that we care about to those in our social circle and those and the people just around us, right? The energy from the full moon in Gemini, communication, you know, our thoughts, our ideas, our stories, our narratives that not only we tell ourselves, but also to others. And then this Taurus energy, not just Taurus, but Venus retrograde, that's when we have the reflection process of what are our values and do our reality reflect those values as well, right? So with that said, that's what these first 3 cards are going to explain. They're just going to give you some insight into what you need to be paying attention to around what are you communicating about your values and who those things need to be communicated to. And then, of course, the oracle cards and the words of affirmation will just provide more insight. You know, but without further ado, let's hop right into it. So, I think I actually might be shuffling some cards. We'll see. Yeah, so first off, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Then you have the Nine of Cups. And then you have the Death card in reverse. What I'm sensing for you, pal number 1, is like, this is definitely your career. This is definitely, and now that I touched the card, it's not just your career, but also your long-term goals and plans. But what are you investing in? What are you investing in, but also what are you emotionally investing in, right? When you think about your career, when you think about your goals for like generational wealth, when you think about a happy house, a happy home, what is your motivator? You know what I mean? And how do your emotions reflect that? Are you focusing on the negatives, or are you focusing on the positives? Are you focusing what you have to lose, or are you focusing on what you have to gain? With this Nine of Pentacles, this deck is asking you, to be level-headed. To be level-headed, to be calm. You know what I mean? To be patient and to think about wisely. I'm really getting like emotional maturity and not emotional maturity and wisdom, I'm sorry, about what it is that you're investing in and how you're going about that process, right? With this Death card in reverse, this is really, especially with this Venus in retrograde energy, right? This is just a call for you to pay attention into what is no longer servicing you. You know what I mean? This could be you looking at what has already died. This could be you looking at what has already died. Or this is what needs to die in order for you to heal. So this energy, this emotional energy can be transformed, right? So what in your life needs to be transformed so that you can invite new emotional energy into your life that's going to help you invest in the things that you truly value and that you want to see grow and flourish. Yeah. You have your life as a canvas. This is just clear, like, confirmation, right? Your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, and what was this last one? Creative accountability. So your life is a canvas. You're the artist of your life, and your life is a canvas. Take responsibility for your ability to create. Earth is known as a planet of manifestation. Your present moment is based on your past thoughts and beliefs. Your current thoughts determine your future. What kind of life do you want to create for the future? What are you being called to create? Reconnect with your manifesting power and align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the vibration that matches them. It's never too late to start, and no experience is required. All you need is an open heart and mind and consistent daily action. If you're not sure what you'd like to create, start instead with the feeling of deep gratitude for all that's already good in your life. State out loud what you're most thankful for. Look for the good in your life, and one thing will be certain. You will find yourself attracting more and more good experiences into your world. This card is inviting you to see your entire life as a canvas, and the picture is completely up to you. Color it with your thoughts and feelings. Create the life that you most long to live. You may also be called to be more creative in your everyday life. What have you been called to create, and how can you express yourself more creatively? And your journaling or meditation prompt is, what are you being called to create in your life? Yeah, and then moving on to your words of affirmation. I love this. I am strong, beautiful, and worthy. I choose today to rest in those truths. And the other one we have is, when I trust that goodness awaits me, I am free to release my fears. Yeah, this is definitely saying, like, also with this Death card in reverse, if you're holding on to a lot of, like, fear and anxieties about the future that you could be manifesting, this is another call to let go of those things, yeah? But yeah, as I stated earlier, these messages are a little shorter. But let me know if this resonated down in the comment section. I'm going to try to upload another pick a card reading before the year is over, just so I send y'all off on the right foot, with my full presence and full energy. But without further ado, please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels for allowing me to deliver these messages to you. And if you're interested in a private reading, don't forget to run over to momagics.com to get onto my booking calendar. And until next time, this is XOMO. Bye. Hello, pal number 2, and welcome to your pick a card reading. If you chose pal number 2, you chose the blue goldstone. And let's get into your reading. As I stated earlier, these aren't going to be super in-depth readings, but I am going to try to upload another pick a card reading before the end of the year is over, just so I can make sure that I send everybody off with some good energy, in my full presence before the start of 2022. So that while I was pulling and channeling messages, the things that I heard were that, like, this year, it's going to be very, this full moon and Venus retrograde cycle, right? And the way that these energies are working together during this time, the full moon that happened on Saturday, the 19th of December around 11:33 p.m., is that like full moon energy in Gemini really wants us to communicate our feelings, but also what we truly value. You know what I mean? Venus in retrograde, be it around our money, be it around our relationships, food, our careers. You know what I mean? Everything that we value and how we relate to those things. And are we communicating those things to the people around us? And also, how are we communicating those things to ourselves, right? So these first three cards from the Manga Tarot deck are just going to give you insight into what you need to focus a little more attention around about that. Where you need to focus a little more attention around that. But then we also have some oracle cards from the Starseed Oracle deck and some words of affirmation just to send you on the right foot, right? But without further ado, let's hop into your reading. I already flipped your cards over. But we have the Six of Swords, the Hanged Man in reverse, and then the Nine of Wands. I'm actually going to get some clarifiers for this, because just from what I'm seeing, can we get clarifiers for this deck, please? But just because what I'm seeing with this is how perhaps your reluctance to move on, your reluctance to move on from a certain situation, it's keeping you back and it's holding up your progress, right? And I don't know if this is about you being a martyr. This is about you being self-sacrificial with some type of issue. But whatever the situation or the issue is, it's drawing all of your energy. It's making you tired. It's making you exhausted, right? This man here, he has such this morose face. And with the Hanged Man in reverse, it's like, I'm hearing that you're stuck in this position, but you can free yourself. It's just a matter of you wanting to move on. You wanting to go elsewhere. But can we get some clarification for pile number 2, please? And what this may be in reference to? Okay. So we have the Moon card and the Eight of Swords. So this is definitely like... One more card, please. One more card, please. So this is definitely like fears and anxieties that you have around resources. But I'm thinking that this is fears and anxieties you have about maybe like withholding resources from certain people, and then taking these, because like the image I'm kind of getting is that like you're providing for your family, you're providing for friends, you're providing for this group of people, like this Three of Cups energy, that these people that you enjoy being around, right? But you kind of have this fear and anxiety, like the Moon card, and it's unclear. It's unclear. You have the Moon card and the Eight of Swords, which is just telling me that there's this nervousness, there's this anxiousness around if you didn't give to these people, if you don't give to these people, you know what I mean? How are they going to respond? You fear that they're going to respond in the worst possible way. But again, the thing about it is that like if you continue to give these people your funds, your resources, you're never going to make it into the future that you want. Three of Wands energy, right? There's a place you want to go. There's a place you want to travel. There's a new experience you want to have. And I'm strongly sensing that your resources are connected to this. Your monetary resources, and this might not even just be monetary resources, even though that is coming through quite strongly with the Six of Pentacles. And then the Seven of Pentacles here as well. But this could also be just your attention span. You know what I mean? This could be your energy and your attention span, the things that you're pouring into and paying attention to, right? The Seven of Pentacles says, really look at what you've been doing. Really look at what you've been doing and what in your life has grown, what has become stagnant, what feels stale, and what about these things you want to change. Right? Really, what is it that you're currently doing that isn't yielding the results that you're looking for? Right? And then how can you change? How can you change your actions? You know what I mean? So that the things that you want are in alignment with the direction that you want to move your life in, right? You have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. Change your perspective. Shift your point of view and zoom out, out, out. We are but a speck of dust in the universe, yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and setting ourselves up for eventual extinction. We build fences and walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't recognize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we could be coming together to heal what's been severed. This moment is a breath in the timeline of your life. This life is a fleeting moment in the tapestry of your soul's experience. Your soul's experience is a flash in the timeline of the known universe, and the known universe is a grain of sand in the unknown universe. Take a moment to see the bigger picture, to find common ground, to find deep compassion in your heart, to gain a greater perspective of humanity in this fleeting moment in the timeline of your soul's existence, in the timeline of all that is, was, or ever will be. And then your journaling or meditation question is, how are you being called to change your perspective? You know what I mean? Change your perspective. I think this is more confirmation, to change your perspective around what you are experiencing and how you feel like things are holding you back. The thing about the hangman upright, the lesson of this card, excuse me, the lesson of this card upright is that the universe comes in with some type of, I don't want to say distraction, but with some type of like hold up, some type of change in plans, or something that stops us from proceeding in the way that we want to proceed, right? The reason that these things happen is because if we continue on in the way that we're usually going to go on when we sing the hangman, it's usually like disastrous effects. It's usually that we're going to end up crashing and burning. So the universe kind of puts a wall in front of us so that we are forced to stop, we are forced to look at things differently, and we are forced to change our perspective. With this hangman in reverse, I'm getting that your time for the change perspective has come and gone, right? So in order for you to make progress, all you have to do is change your perspective and learn the lesson that you were meant to learn so many moons ago. Let's get into your words of affirmation. I don't have to solve all this today. I just need to be brave, cling to hope, and do the next right thing. Yeah? And then we have, even as I wait and I live in uncertainty, I am whole. Yeah? Alrighty, my friends, that's all I have for you. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels for allowing me to deliver these messages to you. Yes. Also, don't forget to comment down in the comment section and let me know what resonated. And also subscribe so you can get more information like these. And again, I'm going to try to upload another video before the end of the year just so I can send all of my followers and subscribers off on the right foot before 2022 comes along. But yeah. And again, I am available for private readings over at momagics.com. Thanks again. Until next time, this is XOMO. Bye. Hello, pal number 3, and welcome to your pick a card reading. And if you chose pal number 3, you chose the Dalmatian Jasper. This is a really good protective crystal for absorbing negative energies and cleansing, grounding, and purifying. When I was channeling messages earlier in regards to the full moon in Gemini that happened around 11:33 December 19th Eastern Standard Time, and then also the Venus retrograde that's going to be lasting for 6 months. The things that we're coming through is like what we are communicating to ourselves and also the people around you about our values, right? Gemini, communication, our thoughts, the stories and narratives we tell ourselves and others, but also values. You know what I mean? Venus, this is our relationships, this is our money, this is the way we feel about other people. These are the truths we tell to ourselves and to other people as well. So, just a little bit about how this reading is going to go. These first three cards from the Manga Tarot deck are going to provide you with insight around what you need to be paying attention to in terms of how you're communicating your values to yourself or others. It's just going to provide some more information around those areas, right? And then we also have some oracle cards from the Starseed Oracle deck for some more clarification and some words of affirmation to send you off on the right foot. Yeah? But again, it's going to be pretty simple today. You know, I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I'm just going to provide you with a little bit. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Swords upright, and then the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah? This is telling me, what are your habits around communicating your feelings? And then how do these things need to be changed? Because with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, this is telling me that you have a hard time being vulnerable with other people or just expressing your emotions in a way that's emotionally expressive, if that makes sense, right? With this King of Swords energy, I'm sensing that you have the King of Swords energy, that you can communicate very clearly, that you might be quite detailed, you might be quite planned, you might be quite organized, but when it comes to, you know, leading the conversation as far as it goes, is like having emotional conversations, you know what I mean? That's something you need to pay a little bit more attention to. And then this Nine of Pentacles is just telling us, what is this manifesting for you? What kind of life are you crafting for yourself where you don't have emotional conversations, where you're never vulnerable, where you never share your truth? You know what I mean? And the only things that you may be interested in, like, take this if it resonates. This is only going to resonate for a few people. But where you're only really invested in like your career path. You know what I mean? Or like the facts of any given situation, but you're not holding true to what you feel. You might be thinking through your feelings, but our feelings cannot be thought of. They need to be felt. They need to be felt and expressed through our body. And it's not always easy. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's meant to be ugly. You know what I mean? So this is really just pointing you to pay attention to how you may be burying your emotions, suppressing your emotions, what you are and aren't communicating, and then how your relationship to your emotions, or like what your relationship to your emotions is creating for your life. Like, what kind of reality are you creating? Yeah? Okay, let's look into your oracle card. Okay. You have the Void. Stop. Embrace winter. Great cosmic womb. Everything and nothing exist in the void. It's where all life begins and ends. It's the winter and the womb. The fertile darkness where all things originate and all seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating. Freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelmingly small and huge. The void is where all faith lives. So just what I'm hearing, just what I am sensing, you know what I mean? It's the balance, you know what I mean? It's the love, it's the vulnerability. It's telling somebody you have a crush on them, but also telling somebody that they hurt your feelings, that you're disappointed, that you're sad, that you're angry. Just this, like, the duality in the beginning of this passage just really awakened that to me, right? The message of the void is to surrender to the unknown, to allow the fertile darkness of nothingness to nourish the new seeds growing within you. Regardless of whether you know what they'll one day become, you're being called to surrender to the mystery of what's next, to rest, and to allow winter of your life to do the work for you, to hand over your control and trust that just because you can't see what's happening beneath the surface, it doesn't mean that things aren't at work. The greatest weaving happens when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us, right beneath the surface, in ways known and unknowable. Now is the time to cultivate faith and allow deep, deep rest. The void often surfaces at the end of a chapter or a life phase. 2021 is almost over. When we're called to let go of all that we know, when we're called to let go of all that we know and identify with, when you're in the void, it can feel scary and as if you should be doing something. However, when this card appears, it's a sure sign that the most productive when this card appears, it's a sure sign that the most productive thing to do is to relinquish control and to surrender to the changing mystery of your life, right? The King of Swords, he's also kind of like, I don't want to say a control freak, but he likes to be in control. The thing about the King of Swords, when he feels like he has all the information and all the facts, he feels like as if he can like predict the future. And if it's not predict the future, he can guesstimate what's going to come next. Excuse me. This card is also calling you to be okay with not knowing. To be okay with just expressing yourself and letting that be it. You know what I mean? Letting that be of the end of the line of what you know and what you need to do. Excuse me. Truth burps. 2 truth burps in a row, right? But here's your journaling and meditation question. How are you being called to surrender to the unknown mystery of your life? Yeah? And here are your words of affirmation. I have the capacity to love others more fully when I love myself first. This is beautiful. I have the capacity to love others more fully when I love myself first. Then you also have, I see beauty in the parts of me that I used to think were broken. I see beauty in the parts of me that I used to think were broken. Alrighty, my friend, that's all I have for you today. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels for allowing me to deliver these messages to you. Don't forget to comment down in the comment section to let me know what resonated, and to also subscribe so you find out the next time that I upload a video. I am going to try to upload a video before this year is over, or maybe one just at the very top of next year, just so I can send all of my followers and subscribers off on the right foot in 2022. But yeah, that's all. I thank you. Also, don't forget, I am open for private readings. If you run over to momagics.com, you can get onto my booking calendar to book a private reading with me. But that's all for now. Until next time, this is XOMO. Bye.